live from New York for the 6th year in a row. It's Ask an Engineer.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another wonderful Ask Engineer. It's me, Lady Ada. Wow, you have the thing in the right location. I'm the engineer. This is Mr. Lady Ada on camera control. We're broadcasting live from the Adafruit factory. You can see we're on air. Back here, we got all this shelving and storage and this lovely wall that Colin built.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
We've got an exciting show for you tonight, all sorts of engineering know-how and knowledge.
Just fun stuff.
Info and news. Lots of things that start with N. Tell them what's on tonight's show.
On tonight's show, the code is Adafruit Daily. We'll talk about that and why. It's big news. Celebrating 6 years of Ask an Engineer. This is kind of the last week of celebrating. It started in a 2-week period.
Yeah, it's a little,
4 years of show and tell. We just did show and tell. Speaking of, we'll be telling everyone who was on the show and tell and what they shared. Pack the Mailbag's going to stop by. Adafruit Jobs Board. Time traveling. Wearables. 3D printing. Raspberry Pi. New products. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to have a trivia question. All that and more on, you guessed it, Ask an Engineer. All right.
nice monochrome graphics. I like it.
Again, the longest running live electronics show. No sponsorship, no ads, nothing like
No
that.
marketers.
No
We
marketers.
don't do no marketing here.
Yeah.
Only engineers.
So,
Someone wrote a book about programming. You're a programmer.
yeah, I did a bunch of stuff a long time ago, but I mostly just run around right now and make sure you have everything you need to do engineering. That's like my main job. Sometimes, I'm basically,
You're not writing that much code.
I am the sword of Lady Ada. Some of the people here, we have some folks, and especially there's a new person, Dora, she started, and she does the Code Wars thing where you put in your code.
Ninja Fight,
Yeah, and you put in your code. I want to learn Python to mess
do
around
it.
with that. Yeah.
The best thing about learning Python is I cannot actually type the word Python without it coming out Python.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the worst thing about Python.
Yeah. Is the
But
spelling.
I don't type the word thong that often, so
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just keep seeing a G at the end. Like I don't.
Python.
Yeah.
All right.
language.
So let's do some paying some bills here. The code is Adafruit Daily, and I'll talk about why it's Adafruit Daily later. But they get you 10% off in the Adafruit store all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. Everything except for gift certificates and
EagleCAD
EagleCAD.
software.
Yeah, because we're not allowed to do discounts on
But
that.
everything else, including all the new items. if you
Yeah.
see here.
So that's what the sale is, and that's what pays the bills here. So if you like to keep Adafruit going, keep us ad-free, sponsor-free, venture capital-free, loan-free, pick up a thing and get a discount.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way that we have income in here, so that we
That's
can
it.
pay.
That's
for,
actually the only way.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
rent and people's.
Yep. Okay.
Overhead cameras and internet bills,
Yeah. Okay.
filament expenses.
Yeah. Specials going on right now. $99 or more, you get an Adafruit Perma half size. $200 or more, you get a free UPS ground shipping on your order in the continental U.S. So that's a pretty good deal. And if you're a package nerd out there, all shipping costs are huge. It's getting bigger and bigger. So if you're thinking about storing up your order and then getting a 10% discount, making sure it's over $200, that's a pretty good deal.
Good idea. Do it on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Especially heavy things or large things that have
Yeah.
the dimensional shipping.
Yeah.
Wise.
So anyways, that's a good deal.
Value.
And then if you're in New York City, to a ton of zip codes in New York, we do same day. So that means if you order before 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, of course you're in New York, and you have the option for same day, we deliver it same day. So it'll show up by 5 p.m. same day in New York City, if that option's available on checkout if you happen to be in New York. So we just launched that, and it's going pretty good. Okay. Programming note, a reminder, we do show and tell every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Wednesday we do Ask an
Is this a
Engineer.
new graphic? Like
Yeah.
the double?
Yeah, and that's what you're watching now. This is just show you're watching. What I found out is people watch Ask an Engineer and show and tell, and they think it's live on YouTube, but it's already been recorded in there.
If it's on YouTube, yes.
Yeah.
With the play button.
Yeah,
yes.
and so I have to put this little note because they type in comments sometimes, and they think they can ask us questions,
Oh.
but that's old us.
It's ironic because remember, like people, like when we were kids, we had TV shows. We thought that they were also live. I used to think the TV was live
Yeah.
because like the news is live, but then like.
But
Dr.
some
Who's
shoes
not
are,
live.
some
Yeah,
shoes
some shows
aren't.
Yeah.
Okay.
YouTube does make that a little bit more confusing.
Yeah, okay.
Just live streaming.
Show and tell. We do this every single week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've been doing this for 4 years. People around the world show and share their projects with you, Lady Ada, and it can be retro stuff. It can be things they made. It could be cool things that someone else made, like in a hackerspace. It could be the hackerspace itself. It could be a rabbit. Whatever it is, you can show it on Show and Tell. Who showed up this week and what did they show and share?
Okay, I will let you know. Start off with Tony DeCola from Adafruit Northwest. He is working on a whole bunch of Bluetooth stuff, so nothing super hardcore to show tonight. Instead, he showed off something he found at a thrift store. An analog multimeter that folds on itself. It's a little pocket multimeter, but of course it's like gigantic, but it's like from the 70s, so it's like as pocket as it's gonna get. Which just makes me laugh and think like in 20 years when we're doing the show and it's like the 25th anniversary, what will we look back on and be like, wow, that is so gigantic. I can't believe that like the iPhone was so big and didn't have holographic memory or something, I don't know. So it's a lovely little analog multimeter. Noah and Pedro from Adafruit Southeast showed off some time lapses for the 10-inch Pi tablet. It's not really a touch tablet, but it's like a little standalone computer with a 10-inch monitor in it with a Raspberry Pi they're using to control their printers. So check that out tomorrow, 3D Thursday. They will be showing that off in detail. Phil B. from Adafruit West what comes by once in a while, and today he had a fun project to show off. It's a Teensy 3.1, which is like a microcontroller that's very fast, controlling 2 OLED displays, and it looks like they're little eyes, and it has like these pupils that dilate with the light levels, and they look around and they blink, and they look like super fun and creepy. So he's working on some future Halloween costume projects with that. Greg came by and gave us an update. He went to a reenactment festival last week for World War II, and he said it was sad there was no music there. So what he did is he designed something for next year's reenactment, which is a Victrola radio that he gutted and replaced with an Adafruit amplifier and speaker and some controls and stuff. So plug in his iPhone, but it's standalone like a little radio, and it has a little glowing effect, like it had a bulb in it, but it is playing like 40s tunes from his iPod or something. So it was a very fun project and looks really beautiful. And he's thinking of maybe adding Bluetooth energy to it, or sorry, Bluetooth audio to it, so he doesn't have to actually plug in his iPod either. Next up, Richard just said hi from sunny Seattle, so that's great. And Rick Winscott had an open source 3D printed rover with like the 4 kind of cammed wheels, and it's all 3D printed in BeagleBone Black. And then there's a Wi-Fi router that's strapped to it, and also has a camera connected, a USB camera connected to the BeagleBone Black, and you can actuate the camera. And he said it was basically like a series of open source 3D printed robots that he was showing off. He was showing off at an event or a library, and was showing off today for us too. Lon came in and also updated us on his game show system. He's working on it for more than a year, and he went to a Nerdtacular event, and there was a Nerd Quiz Bowl that they used his game show controller at, and he said it worked great, and he's learned like so much about like how to design a project that can like be durable and last a very long time with all these nerds like hitting buttons.
And it's something to do with frog pants. I don't know what it was.
The frog pants I didn't quite get, but it's Nerdtacular. And then Daniel came by, showed off his Raspberry Pi, a really old 10 gigabyte hard drive. Wow, only 10 gigabytes, so old, 2001, and a very cute rabbit.
Okay.
That's it.
That's everything. All participants on the show and tell get an SE on the show and tell sticker. All they have to do is email support@adafruit.com and we send them out a sticker.
It's lovely and it's red and stuff.
How do people get on the show and tell Lady Ada?
If you would like to be on the show and tell next week or any week after that, you can do so. We will be doing this probably until we die. Every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We do this live on Google Hangouts. So to add yourself or get added to the circle so you will be invited, go to plus.google.com/+Adafruit. Look for the thread where there's an AdaBot saying, hey, comment here to be added to the show and tell circle. And then we'll right click on your avatar after you comment and add you. So just say like, hey, I'm going to show off my robot or my project or something. And then you'll get an invite, and it fills up fast. So be super ready at like 7:29 p.m. for when we send out the invite. When Google sends you the invite, it shows up on your Google Plus page. Click it to join in, and if you don't get in, try in a couple minutes, and then you can always try again the next week.
Okay.
We only have a max of 9 people. We can't invite more than that.
Okay. Next up, our site is down right now.
No.
So Servant is down right now.
No.
And that's just the way it is.
No.
So yeah, what's unfortunate is, Wednesdays, there's always like things that come up, and we have all these live shows.
It's Wacky Wednesday.
And I feel like it's a test to see if like we crack on camera and we just like break down, but we're not. So this is recorded, so we're gonna keep doing the show. So I'm gonna let Adafruit Daily run a little bit longer because you can't actually place orders right now. So anyways, all right, next up, Pack the Mailbag's gonna stop by and read an email.
Do you want me to read the email?
No,
Okay.
it's all good. I gotta check your mic in a minute too. This is from Bob. I received an order for 83014 today, and everything was as it should be. It's a pleasure working with a competent vendor who takes obvious pride in customer support. The confirmation email with the tutorial links plus the product photos on the packing slip are a nice touch. Now, what's interesting is, Bob, we have so many emails that come in from the show and tell that and the mailbag folks, that's from a really long time ago.
Yeah,
so
like we're up to order like 800.
We're almost up to 900,000. Yeah, we're almost at 900,000. So that's pretty cool that we're still working through those. We have like a million years.
This is from like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, I hate to do this, but can you talk in the mic?
Hey, I'm talking to the mic, so we can do a mic test.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, what happened?
I don't know.
Okay. Should I just yell into your chest? Okay.
Yeah, we won't do that. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna pop.
Everything's falling apart.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop over to a video while I see what's up.
Can you show the technical thing? Maybe we're under attack.
No, I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna pop over to wearables for now. So this is our wearables video for the week. We're celebrating 2 years on the wearable show. So check it every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here's my little graphic. Wearable Electronics, Becky Stern. Today, Jessica was on the show. We did live periscoping and such. And here is the Firewalker video.
I want to wish a happy birthday to one of our favorite wearables projects, the Firewalker sneakers. Originally created by Phil B., this Flora tutorial was uploaded to our YouTube channel 2 years ago. And in that time, we've seen dozens of you make your own versions at home. We've also seen a bunch of really common questions about this project, and even though I answer questions every week on our live wearable show, I thought I'd put all of these questions together in one video. It's more convenient for you. First up, what sneakers are these? These are a pair of high-top Vans. I think the model was Alamar, and they're in ballistic nylon. We've made them in black and gray. So many of you ask, where can I buy Firewalker LED sneakers pre-assembled? And while you can post up in the Adafruit jobs board to find a maker who will make them for you, I've also seen a bunch of off-the-shelf similar looking LED sneakers show up on eBay and Etsy if you just look for LED sneakers. But the joy of making your own can never be underestimated, and you won't get that sick fire walking animation anywhere else. Thomas Edwards says, awesome, but I'm curious why regular batteries are used instead of a li-poly battery, and that's a really good question. We knew that this project would be pretty popular for beginners, and we wanted to encourage people to use alkaline batteries because they're more safe. If you're an advanced user and you understand how to protect and work with these batteries, then by all means you can use any size li-poly batteries to run your Firewalker sneakers and even make like a pocket for the battery so it's not quite so chunky on the shoe. A lot of you asked, can I use a Gemma for the Firewalker sneakers instead of the Flora? And the short answer is sure. The long answer is that it's not easier. It may be lower cost, but since Gemma doesn't have onboard serial debugging, it can be hard for you to calibrate your sensor to your steps. And that's an important part of building the Firewalker sneakers, is putting the sensor in the shoe, stepping on it while it's plugged into the computer to see the number readout. Velostat is actually a packing material designed for anti-static, and we're exploiting the fact that the resistance changes when you squeeze it, but all the batches are different, so it's really important to calibrate your sensor, and it's really difficult to calibrate an analog sensor on Gemma. So while it is possible and it can reduce the cost of your project, it's not going to make it easier for a beginner to build the project with Gemma. We get a lot of questions about durability, like what happens if it rains? Well, this project uses both conductive thread and soldered wire, so if it rains, obviously those conductive thread traces are going to get shorted out. So if you want to wear your Firewalker sneakers in the rain, I'd recommend swapping the conductive thread for wire. It tapes onto the Velostat just as well. You just might have a harder time getting it through your shoe. And then I would clear coat the circuit board with something like clear nail polish or a conformal coating. We have more information about ruggedizing your electronics in our video on the topic. Zachary asks, can I put the sensor on the upper part of the shoes where my toes are? I'm thinking about shuffling with these babies on. Yeah, you can move the sensor to the toe of the shoe if you want. You just might have to sort of switch the sensitivity of the sensor around so that you're actually getting the result you want. Since we put it in the heel because that's where most of your weight lands when you're walking, so it might not have as much variability in the number for the sensor if you put it in the toes, but experiment with it and let us know. Can you add a mode switch to make a walking mode, continuous flashing mode, a pulse mode, and a sound mode? I want to make 6 pairs for a New Year's Eve costume. Yeah, sure. There's plenty of space on the Flora microcontroller for more animation modes, and if you want to look at a project that does have multiple animation modes with a Flora, you could take a look at the Florabrella project. It has a button that allows you to switch between different animation modes. That could be a good jumping off point for your code. Any tips to ruggedize the NeoPixel strips? I find over time this strip breaks where the bend is. NeoPixel strip is designed to bend this way, but it's not designed to bend laterally. So eventually there is some fatigue there. And the project sort of shows you how to mitigate that a little bit by not gluing the bendy part directly to the shoe so it can kind of flare out, but it's not a perfect solution. And if you want to wear them every single day, you're going to have to expect to do some maintenance on them, first of all. But then around the toe, maybe you would cut the NeoPixel strip, solder on silicone-coated flexible wire to a couple of the single individual NeoPixels, and then pick up again to the strip on the toe so that you have like a material that's designed to bend a lot, right where it does bend a lot. And then in order to waterproof that up, you'll have to use some additional Permatex 66B or an extra piece of sheathing from another piece of NeoPixel strip could be a way to go. But at best, you should expect these to be a very special pair of shoes that you take very good care of. So those are the frequently asked questions about the Firewalker sneakers. If you're wanting help with your own electronics projects, you can post up in the Adafruit forums where our engineers will help work through those code modifications and circuit changes for your own custom versions. And we love to see your projects on the weekly Adafruit Show and Tell on Google+. If you have more wearables questions, I'll tackle them every week on our live wearables broadcast. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel on YouTube to catch all the things we're up to. Thanks for watching.
Okay, maybe you can
We're back. Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, look, my mic is working.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right, well, our site's still down.
Okay, our site's still down, but my mic's working.
Yeah.
Good for us.
And Dropbox didn't sync the videos, one of the videos at least a couple of videos I had, so.
If we had 17 in-house IT people, we wouldn't have this problem, Phil.
Well, we wouldn't be able to do a show, first off.
That's true.
So we'd be telling them not to. Be telling them to, like, please don't do what you're doing. Okay. So next up, let's go to the Adafruit Jobs Board, the best and only jobs board in the world that all the jobs are personally approved by Our Lady Ada, and it's for companies that want cool makers and makers who want to put their skills up online. So the first job that we're going to read this week, well, the only one, I'm just going to do one. Help, personalization, digital LED strips, RGB strips. So someone needs help. They want to do a cosplay project, and they want a person to help them with the coding and putting the LEDs together. So we're starting to see this a lot. I see a lot of people, it's not companies that are looking for makers, although as we get a lot of those, and it's not just people who have skills, it's people who want a project done. Anyone help with that?
That's cool. So cosplay, it's got a cute little like cat ears, happy face. So
okay. Next up, well, some open source hardware news. I put our company news in this because we're an open source hardware company.
yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Some kind of big news. I think this is for probably a few hundred people right now, and then a few thousand. This is Nimbus, our Internet of Things cloud entity. Hi, I'm just gonna keep your data for a little bit.
Site's not up, but cloud still exists.
Cloud services.
Cloud's not really working.
Yeah. So we got an announcement. If then this that we have an Adafruit channel. So and it works with Adafruit.io. So if you haven't, go to Adafruit.io at some point in the future and put your email address in and sign up for the beta. We never spam or do anything like that. It has nothing to do with anything else. Just sign up for it, and you'll get an Adafruit.io account. We will get to everyone. And then you have if then this
We're
that
doing it like
channel.
50 people at a time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you go to Adafruit.io, and it's our push and pull Internet of Things service. So we're rolling it out to more people. So please sign up, and you will soon get an invitation. If you've already signed up, please don't sign up multiple times because you're not going to get. It's not going to happen faster. And then we are adding services that go with it. So right now, all we're doing on Adafruit.io is just logging data. Like that's all we're doing. We're just like logging and passing messages back and forth through the MQTT broker or like through a REST interface. However, the people always want to do stuff like, okay, well, I want to have like my lamp so I can control my lamp, via Adafruit.io, like so I can press a button on a web page and it turns on and off. But maybe they want to have like their lamp turn on when, the cat enters the room or something, or I don't know, like, or when they send an email or a tweet. So all that interfacing stuff where you want to like connect to Twitter or to email or Google Calendar or to like other feeds or to like Yahoo Pipes or like RSS or all that interactive stuff. If we try to add that to Adafruit.io, it would just take forever. Like even just getting Twitter integration, it's very difficult to get it like really good and solid. And so what we're doing instead is we're partnering with providers that do that kind of interfacing stuff, like if this then that, which does like if, look, if, the date is between December 20th and January 1st, light up my NeoPixels red and green, like that's the first example. Or, if my feed gets a message, then play music on my phone, whatever. And then Zapier as well, or Zapier, however you say it, which is a slightly more like in-depth / complicated service, but allows you to be like super specific about like, oh, if like the URL access code is this. I mean, it's much more detailed than if this and that, but you also have to pay more for it if you want more than just a couple of simple messages back and forth. So if try these out. If you have an Adafruit.io account, please try out if this and that. And also, please try out Zapier because we have to get a couple more people using it in order to make it live. And if you guys have any other suggestions for other services that you think would work well as like an interface feed, let us know. Just email support because like these are the two that we know and we use. But if there's other ones that are easy to implement, we'd love to because I don't personally want to have our team do like Twitter integration and Google like Gmail and Gcal integration, just like too complicated. So instead, just like use if this and that.
Yeah, and I use Zapier or Zapier, whatever you want to call it, to run a lot of things. I have things that go into HipChat, things that go to watches and phones, and you can do a lot of interesting things with RSS and with Adafruit.io and a lot of things we do at Adafruit. We're going to have a lot of interesting integrations, like the pick and place could alert another department what job is being run. We have our work order system plugged into our production management system that does an alert. So,
maybe when we hit like the 1 millionth order, like a Raspberry Pi will release like a bundle of confetti.
Sure, we can do that.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty, next up.
That's the update.
So we got some Arduino news. Big news. We're just shipping more. We're shipping a lot, and we're shipping a lot more. That's all we're allowed to say. We're still making the Arduinos here in the USA, and they're agonized over by Gost in New York City.
Yeah, you listened to a new Smiths track. Oh no, it was a new Cure track. Sorry,
it's pretty old though.
The Cure track, not new, but for us it's new.
Yeah.
Cure.
I was going for a run and listened to it. I was like,
Robert
this is
Smith, and so we were like, oh, this is a pretty good Robert Smith track. And then we agonized.
I told you I figured out like Robert Smith's problem. It's those photos of people he has. He's like, yeah, I got a photo, and he's so sad. He has a photo on a wall. He needs to stop looking at photos. That's his thing. He should get rid of cameras. He'd be so much happier.
He's probably on Tinder now.
Well, the thing is, like, he slams his door and he's like, I just want to be alone. And he has a poster. And he's like, I have a poster of you on the back of my door. Well, take a poster off.
Very goth.
Get out and go to the other room. Don't go to the room where there's a poster of the person.
He only has one room. It's his bedroom because he doesn't want to hang out with the rest of his family.
You could take the poster down.
Keep out.
And it would
Robert Smith's room.
It would keep out and take the poster down. That's a big thing.
Do you want to email Robert Smith and tell him about your...
I think that if he got rid of cameras, his life would be better.
Or pictures, just photographs.
No more pictures.
Yeah.
So it's like, pictures of my mom, so sad. So anyways, all right. So we have 842 tutorials in the Adafruit Learning System. This week, what is this one?
This is a good one. This is how to run programs automatically on your TD computer. It's actually good for running automatic programs on any computer that is using Linux. as a tutorial from Brandon Behrens, this is a really common request, and so I'm glad that we finally have a guide on how to do this. But basically, let's say you have a Raspberry Pi, and your Raspberry Pi is part of your sensor network. For example, you want to have a camera that looks for your cat, or you want it to take photos, time-lapse photos outside. If the power goes out, or if there's a power flicker or somebody bumps it, it might reboot. And when it reboots, it won't be running the program that you start on anymore, which is super sad. So what you want to do is set up your Raspberry Pi so whenever it starts up, the first thing it will do after it's booted is run your program, whether it's a radio program player, or a Pi TFT thing or a sensor thing or whatever, or just connect to the network or send an email or whatever you want. And so you can do that with Linux. It's not too hard. And here's a tutorial from if I don't know how to do that. Basically, it's a initd hacking. And then he also, as a super mega bonus, shows how to use it on the BeagleBone Black, which uses a systemd style init script. So it's a slightly different, but shows you basically how you can have a Python program run whenever you boot up the computer. Very handy and often requested, and not easy to do. On Windows, you right-click and you say add to start, auto start, or whatever. But
Okay.
Linux, you got to type a little bit.
Next up, this is a 2.2-inch Pi TFT hat enclosure, and we'll be watching that video in just a few minutes. So this is a tutorial from Noah and Pedro. Has all the files, all the things to make this cute little enclosure.
It's so cute. It's a little Raspberry Pi, a Model A+, so it's the teeny one without Ethernet, only one USB port, but it's just so cute. And you can put our 2.2-inch hat on it. It doesn't have touch, but it has 4 buttons, and it's just adorable, and now you can carry it around.
Okay. And last but not least, this is what you were talking about before. This is using Zapier with Adafruit.io. So this is how you actually do all those things. Yahoo had pipes, and that kind of could move things around. I think with structured data sources, a lot of things online you can pipe in, and then for us, we can push stuff back out.
Yeah,
with
what's neat is Adafruit.io is one of the very few services that are cloud services that can do bidirectional data. So Patch Bay, which became Xively, which is LogMeIn, what was the other name of it?
What?
Xively, Patch Bay, and it was called something else.
There was Cosm.
Cosm.
Yeah.
So those were one.
This is a trivia thing. There's no reason we should even know that. Cosm. Does anyone, will that ever?
That was short-lived.
Yeah, but no, it's when will we need this information? Why is it still in there? I want to put other things in there. I want to put pictures in there.
You barely have. It took us a second to figure out. So for those services, often you just log the data. But like we said, with Adafruit.io, what's neat is that it does bidirectional. You can push or pull data, so you can send data to it or you can get data from it. And so, for example, there's let's say you have this is a tweet example, so you can tie Twitter into it. So you can have your Arduino tweet when the door opens, or when somebody tweets you, it can unlock the door. So it's a bidirectional interface. So yeah. Zapier is if this and that. We'll do a tutorial for if this and that. It's coming really soon. I'm working on it. But Zapier is a little bit more hardcore. And this tutorial basically shows you how to set it up and, for example, use Twitter or something and test your zaps and then set it up and get it working with the feeds. And I used it and it's awesome. I actually tied it with Google Calendar. So when Google Calendar, when I have a meeting, it will send a message to Adafruit.io, and then I have an Arduino that will connect to Adafruit.io and blink a bright red LED. So it'll be hey, stop, EagleCAD, you have a meeting, go to your meeting.
Okay.
I kind of need it,
yeah.
so otherwise I forget.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have our Adafruit comic reading list. So a lot of people at Adafruit read comic books, and of course this didn't sync up. So this week it's ElfQuest, anyways.
Doesn't need a photo.
It's ElfQuest.
And who suggested it? Do you remember?
That was Zay.
Zay.
And so check it
loves
out.
comics.
Yeah, I need to verify why would Dropbox not sync things up?
We're pretty much doing maker charades here.
Yeah. Okay. As a lot of you noticed, we have a wall that we built. We have a little time lapse of Colin. Here's him painting the wall, and we're using this for Colin's lab. So what you don't see is a big wall over there.
Oh no, you see it.
Yeah. Well, you don't see the whole thing, but
Okay,
we have a set for Colin's lab. So we're gonna be able to do more Colin's lab more frequently. Before we were doing it as an apartment and his workspace, and then we would move stuff upstairs. So we got that going on.
I mean, you have to have that solid laboratory background with the schematics on it. So, and we have a couple of Colin's labs planned.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, On September 16th, you're going to be in a fashion magazine.
That's me on the cover.
Yes,
It's not Photoshop. That's actually me.
And this year, no, it's called Untitled, and there's all these like fashion people, and you happen to be in it. It's the Girl Power issue. So we'll get some copies and everything. But anyways, I put this in the open source hardware section because I think this is the first time that an engineer was in Untitled, and certainly.
And that would not be surprised if I'm the first electrical engineer to be in this magazine.
Yeah.
This magazine is all photos of very beautiful women and men wearing very beautiful clothing.
Yeah. And then next up, if you watch CNBC, they have a segment, and it's also on the website. You can check that out on our site.
We can't embed it because it's all.
Yeah, it's very difficult to embed, but it's called How One Small Business Makes Electrical Engineering Easy. And then the other bit of news, if you're like one of the maker business people here who likes to run a company or thinking about it or likes to learn about more stuff, you were interviewed by entrepreneur.com, and this is from Linda, and she did like a 40-minute interview with you. You talked about a bunch of stuff.
Intense. This is probably the only electrical engineering interview where I get to use the word solipsistic, I think in the correct context of how to design products for customers. But yeah, it's very detailed. It isn't like most interviews where it's just like, what is your name? What do you do? Like because you interviewed me before, she's like, well, I want to actually start talking about more detailed information about Adafruit and how you design stuff. So it's a little long. It's 30 minutes. Well, it's not that long, but it's longer than a Vine. But check it out. It's a podcast, and audio's pretty good. And if you want to know more about like the philosophy that I have for designing products and how we run Adafruit here, and like how we are good to our team members and are good to our customers, and try to make the best business possible, check out this podcast.
Yeah,
I think it came out pretty good.
Yeah, what I think a lot of people don't realize is you can have fantastic products, or you can have terrible products, but really what matters is in the end is the experience that customers have and the experience that your employees have. And a lot of people don't talk about the employees. And so I think that seeps into the products. If you have people that are motivated, have a cause, they're doing something that has value, they feel good about what they do every day, they have a ladder, they have mobility within the company, they're treated well, they have great benefits, like all this stuff. That's actually the secret. There's no like business book that you can read that's going to give you like, oh, this one thing that you'll have to do. It's actually like getting up early every day, and like you have to meet with people and you have to switch gears. Like you're doing tasks, but sometimes you have to meet with team members. And it's, I think, the challenge for founders and people who do business, they sometimes don't or can't switch gears from doing the task to managing souls and helping people.
Well, so if you have like because I know it's like a kind of horrible admission, but I read a Paul Graham essay. Okay, so forgive me, but
No, Paul Graham's fine.
no, but it's funny. It's like,
Yeah.
Anyways, so he had this thing that he says like, look, you can treat your customers and your people bad, and maybe you'll save like 10%. Like maybe you'll save 10% or profit. You'll be 10% more profitable because you just squeeze them to death, right? You pay the minimum wage and you the minimum benefits, and like you do everything you do to just squeeze the money out. But if the people being treated poorly results in lower growth, because like you're just dealing with just like crises all the time and like things aren't working out, and like you just need to take care of more deals because people are less able to manage themselves and like put care into their work and take care of problems early. He says if you graph it, it's like if you had only 1% more growth because you had like a better community, within 2 years you're already ahead. Like the short term is to squeeze, the long term is to cultivate.
When we talk to people, I always tell them like, it's only the long game. You're not gonna come up with this brilliant idea that changes everything. It's all long game. It's all getting up early every day and working on something big and important and getting a bunch of people to work well together.
Yeah.
You're not going to come up with the magic invention. You're just not. It's just not going to work. Okay. So anyways, that's the podcast. You talk about that a lot. I mean, you're my business hero, so I listen to it.
You're my business hero.
And we're still doing Periscopes from the desk of Lady Ada. So,
doing one right now.
Yeah, we're doing a Periscope right now. If you go on Twitter and look at it.
I like how it says 9 p.m. because that's actually about when we do Periscopes when we get home.
Yeah.
And that's like 9 o'clock is when I'm like, okay, I'm going to do some engineering now.
Yeah.
Until like midnight.
So we broadcast and we show what you're working on Periscope. So you can see a lot of cool stuff that happens. Okay. And then next up, our big news, Adafruit Daily. And at some point, you can even go to adafruitdaily.com and you can sign up for our new newsletter. So adafruitdaily.com is our one-stop shop for not shopping.
Okay, but I have a question, Phil. Why do we have a separate server called Adafruit Daily? Why don't we have it be like daily.adafruit.com?
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
Yeah, so I want to talk about this.
Okay.
So here's the deal. After, I don't know, 15 plus years on the internet or whatever, I think newsletters are broken. And I think the trust is broken with companies. They've abused all of it. They don't listen to what their values are. And when you buy something on a website, they take your email address and they use it and they send you a newsletter no matter what you do, and that's not okay.
You have to force unsubscribe.
Yeah, that's
and then
not okay.
Here's the funniest part about unsubscribing to newsletters, right? You always unsubscribe, and first off, like half the time they don't even have the one click, so you have to like look at you have to log into your account to unsubscribe and like check your preferences. And then when you update it, you know what it always says? It always says, okay, we'll update your email preferences in 7 to 10 days. Like, what database are you using where it's going to take you 7 to 10 days to update whether you send me email?
Yeah.
Like, where did they come up with this?
So the thing is, the trust has been abused. If you sign up for a newsletter, your email address is out there forever. If you buy something from a website, it's like, well, you gave us your email, so now we can do whatever we want. They send catalogs to your home. So this is what we decided to do, because if no matter what we promise, people won't believe you anyways, because all the trust has been eroded. So what we said is, let's make a new site. It's called adafruitdaily.com, and you sign up for the topics that you want sent to you. It uses MailChimp, you unsubscribe very easily. Has nothing to do with your store account. Has nothing to do. You can use a throwaway address, whatever you want. Has nothing to
Sharks
do.
and lasers, totally
It
fine.
has nothing to do with any money, any physical address, anything at all. We'll never spam. We'll never.
Totally different database. We can't even correlate anything.
Yeah, we'll never. Yeah, and this is very different, and we're not gonna sell shit to you either. This is only tips and tricks and everything. So we have a couple newsletters right now. One is wearables. It's the only daily wearable newsletter in the world.
For electronics,
and then we have, for
not fashion. I'm like,
not fashion. Yeah. And then for Maker Business, we have.
Which is your beat.
Well, I just collect stuff, and people who are into business that has something to do with. Well, I also cover like how many watches has Apple shipped. That's interesting for anybody.
There's a lot of people doing wearables.
Yeah, that's interesting. So we've already started. We have a couple hundred people, I think, all together right now already subscribed, and we've just been getting it out there. So check it out. And like I said, we won't sell you out. That is our promise. And I'm talking about it right now on Ask an Engineer.
Yeah.
You can play it back, but you'll never see that email address used for anything else ever, and we'll never give it to anyone. Adafruit's just yours. I think it'd be difficult for someone to even buy us because we're crazy. We would say you can't ever spam anyone. You can't do anything. Like we have a promise on the website. So if you're a marketer, it would absolutely suck to work here. You'd just be like, I can't do I have no tricks.
No, they wouldn't be allowed to do anything.
Anyway, so that's Adafruit Daily. Check it out and sign up. Okay. We did the wearables. Yeah, so now it's going to be 3D printing time. Okay. 3D printing. We have a video from Noah and Pedro this week. And they're celebrating their first year of hardwares. 3D Hangouts. And they're on live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And their video this week is in the Raspberry Pi zone, so I combined the two. It's 3D printing and Raspberry Pi. And this is a 2.2-inch Pi TFT video. Let's roll it.
Hey, you're watching Adafruit on YouTube. This is the show about 3D printing and DIY electronics. Today we're going to 3D print an enclosure for the Raspberry Pi A+, featuring the Adafruit 2.2-inch Pi TFT. Let's make this little guy. With this project, we can make a small Astro Box that puts our 3D printer on the Wi-Fi network. The Astro Print image is easy to install, and it lets us control the printer with any device on the network. We put together the enclosure in Fusion 360 using sketches. The 3 parts snap fit together with friction, and most of the ports are accessible. The parts nicely fit on the printer bought simple metal, and you can pick one up from the Adafruit shop. The zebra plate from Printin' Z makes removing the prints so much easier and really beats Blue Painter's tape. The parts print with no support material, and it takes just under 2 hours. They came out looking exceptional using Cura with default settings and slicing profile. You only need to solder the socket header to the GPIO pinout on the display, but be sure to check out the guide linked below for a full tutorial. It's a lot easier if you tack the header to the PCB and use a pan of ice to keep it sturdy while you solder. The Pi TFT snaps on top of the Raspberry Pi, and the 3D printed spacers keep the two PCBs in place. It slides into the case at an angle, and the clips on the edges keep them from coming out. The ports line up nicely with the cutouts, and everything just snap fits together. NinjaFlex makes great rubber actuators for the buttons on the display. Keep the protective film on until the last step. Place the cover over the display and press the edges into the case to close it up. You can use any 5-volt battery or power source with a micro USB cable. And now we have our mini Astro Box. The Pi TFTs make great displays for small Raspberry Pi projects. And there you have it, yet another 3D printed enclosure for the Raspberry Pi. So if you've created an enclosure using 3D printing, let us know in the comments because we want to see what you guys are working on. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Ekin. But until then, thanks so much for watching, guys, and don't forget to subscribe for more 3D printed projects from Adafruit.
Jump into new products.
Hello.
Hey, we're back. We're gonna jump into new products right away. Before we do that, the code is Adafruit Daily. For the folks that are having trouble checking out because Servant, our provider, is unusually down for a long period of time during Ask an Engineer, I'll let the code go till tomorrow afternoon. So Adafruit Daily.
Oh, how nice of you.
Yeah, well, it's not their fault that the site's down.
And you don't have to sign up for Adafruit Daily newsletter, but if you'd like to, check out adafruitdaily.com.
Yeah. Looks like we got 8 orders.
Yay!
So it's a ramen night. Sorry, kiddo. No food for you. All right, let's do.
I like ramen.
Yeah, let's do new products.
Okay.
New. Okay.
New.
All right, lady, here we go.
Okay. Let's do this thing.
Yeah. So the first new product on the list this week is
the Touchboard Starter Kit.
Yeah.
This is the Touchboard Starter Kit. If you really like capacitive inks and you want to play around with them and you want to build something with their conductive and their touchboard, this is a starter kit. I'll hold it up as well. It is super awesome. It comes with a ton of stuff. It's like really very nice. It comes with a tub of bare conductive paint, a tube of bare conductive paint, a capacitive touch board, this thing which has multiple little connections so you can connect conductive ink to it and make like touch sensors. And it has audio playing capability and a micro SD card so you can stick audio onto it. Also comes with an SD card with some tracks on it. Actually, what's really cool is the tracks are instructions. So when you plug it in, you can touch it and it will like tell you what to do. A bunch of stencils, a brush, a bunch of alligator clips, and a speaker kit, and a li-poly battery so you can charge this and make it portable, as well as a battery charger. You don't have to do any programming, although if you want, it is Arduino compatible. I think it's Arduino at heart, so you can use it with Arduino IDE. But it's basically like, this is interesting for people who are interested in art and interactive music and creativity, and they kind of want everything all together in one box. So this is Starter Kit will get you everything you need to do like conductive paint, touch, reactive audio projects.
Okay. All right, next up, we've got LCDs.
This is a simple but elegant product. This is a LCD with the headers already soldered on. We have this in a pack or two, and so we're just kind of keeping it in the store as an individual item as well. It's just like a standard 16:2 LCD. We have them in the store unassembled, but if you don't mind paying another $1, you can get it with the header already soldered on. Might be handy for you. Okay. Looks like this, white on blue text.
Okay. And then I'd say tonight the star of the show besides you is the Picade.
Yeah, we have a couple different options, and that photo is of the console. But I will. So let's talk about that first. So this console is a laser cut kit that you put together. So if you go back, you can see all the laser cut pieces. So this is what you get. You get a top, holder, sides, bottom, connectors, buttons, alligator clips, a joystick thingy, It's a pretty solid kit. You don't get a Raspberry Pi, but you put a Raspberry Pi inside. You can sort of see that there's
Do you
one
want to
here.
do the overhead so you can show what's inside of it?
Yeah, sure. I think I can maybe angle this up. Yes, here's a Raspberry Pi. So you can see there's an HDMI
So
port.
you supply the Raspberry Pi.
You supply the Raspberry Pi, but then you have audio going in, and then over here you can kind of see this is a Pi-Kid controller board. So this connects to all the different buttons. Let me zoom out. I'm zooming out. I'm zooming out.
Yeah, it's
I'm
probably
zooming
as good as it's going to go.
out. No, it's great. This is perfect. All the buttons connect to here, so there's all these, like, so you got 6 buttons and a joystick, and they connect to this board, which also does audio amplification, and then connects back to the Raspberry Pi, and so does all the key presses when you press the button. So it has an audio amplifier as well, and then there's a big speaker on the bottom, so you can see the speaker grill. And these keep it off the table so you can actually hear the audio. So basically what you do is, you build this kit, and it's fun. You only need a screwdriver. There's no soldering involved. And then you can hook it up to an HDMI monitor by plugging in HDMI here, and then you power it over micro USB. And basically, like, you've got your own sort of like fight stick. I don't know what the word for this is, like arcade stick with joystick up, down, left, right, and then like A, B, left, right, up, down. And then you also get 2 buttons on either side, so strafe buttons or like escape, start. And I believe it even comes with an SD card that has RetroPie installed, or they tell you where to get that. No, maybe it doesn't come with an SD card. You have to get an SD card and put RetroPie on it, and then you can play retro games. And then there's another version, which is the arcade full desktop kit.
Okay.
So can you, how do you want to do this?
What do you want to do?
Well, I have to kind of show this off.
Sure.
How do you want to do this? Do you want me to just like kind of move this around?
Well, yeah, sure. We can do that.
Whoa, wait, it's upside down.
Yeah, you're going to be upside down. So I don't.
So how am I going to do this?
Well, what's your goal?
I'm trying to show the arcade thing.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you want to make? Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So you want to show the Pi-Cade?
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Do you want to turn off the light?
What? Why would I want to do that?
I don't know if it make it more visible. Okay, maybe not. So this is the Pi-Cade full kit. So it's basically a desktop arcade. You also get the same joystick, 6 buttons, the 2 buttons on the left, right. And then it also comes with a screen, so you can play, for example, like Doom or arcade games or like Pac-Man or whatever. And then turn it around. Oh, wait.
Yeah, what is it attached to? I can hold it up in front of the camera if you want, because
It's attached to this
Okay.
USB hub back here.
If we have something like this in the future, maybe give me a little bit of a heads up. Because you're not going to be able to do anything with that.
Well, I'll show it.
Let me see what else I can do here.
Okay. So here, I can show the back. So in here, there's a screen, and there's 2 speakers, and then there's also, whoa.
Yeah, so I got another camera.
You got another camera?
Yeah, I'm going to try this out.
Okay.
All right. So,
What do you do?
well, we have a other camera.
Okay.
But yeah, if you can tell me next time. Here.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Try this out.
Okay, so, yay. So yes, this is the back of the arcade, and I opened it up. So yeah, there's speakers, there's a Raspberry Pi over here, there's an HDMI monitor, so you get really good quality sound, and then in the back there's also that controller that connects to the joystick. And then, yeah, I've got it playing Doom right now, so you can, I don't know, play this game, which I'm not very good at. And I just died. Okay, but you can play any kind of retro arcade game. It comes with Doom because it's free, but you can also install, Nintendo emulators or Super Nintendo or Sega or Atari or MAME or what have you. You can download ROMs and install them. And this is just really fun because it's a nice little desktop arcade. It's very cute and compact, and you just have to power it over the micro USB.
Okay.
That's my demo.
I'm doing service.
Okay. You can watch me play games.
Yeah, it's funny.
What?
So when things don't work, every device in the world tells me every.
Oh, is it like your phone going like?
Yeah, everything just blew up. It's just
Okay.
hey, we're down. Did you know?
Did you know we're down? Okay, and then finally, there's one last item, which is the controller board itself. So I'll just hold this up. So the board that is actually inside the Picade, both the desktop version and the arcade version, comes with this little board from Pi which says Picade in it in nice big letters. And this is, you can connect all the buttons up here to the screw terminals and over here and over here. And it has an audio amplifier built in, and then it also has a micro USB connection. And on here is basically an Arduino Leonardo. So when you plug it in, it looks like a keyboard, so you can turn all these buttons into like up arrow, down arrow, key presses. So basically it's perfect for making like little arcades because it's a built-in audio amp that you can use. And it looks like a keyboard, so you can use it not only with a Raspberry Pi, but with a BeagleBone Black or like a whatever board, like Minnow board or Banana Pi or PC Arduino, or even, actually it can work with a Windows or Mac computer, because all it is an audio amplifier and then a USB keyboard. So this is another little add-on for DIY arcade projects.
Okay. And with that, Lady Ada, that's the new products for the week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'll have to figure out what the dealio is with Dropbox stuff. Okay, so that's your products. A little reminder, code is Adafruit Daily, and they get you 10% off all the way up to the time in the future.
Till the future. Try it, I don't know.
If you try it tomorrow, it'll probably work. And it's because they're in a side outage. So with all that being said, we're going to get out of here a little early because it's the definition of insanity if you try to keep doing the same thing. So let's do a trivia question, and then we're going to bolt.
Okay, we got to work
yeah,
on the
we
site.
can't. Yeah, well, there's nothing
like,
else.
hey, why aren't you working on getting the site back up? Because we're doing a live show.
All right, so everyone, trivia question. Lady Ada, what are the rules?
You can only win once per lifetime, so if you've ever won a prize on the show before, you can't enter again, so please do not even start typing in any answers, because we want only one winner. Everybody gets a chance. The prize tonight is a Picade controller board that's Arduino compatible. Make your own arcade with any kind of computer. It's very handy and a lot easier to ship around the world to whoever wins it than the gigantic thing. So whoever answers the question correctly in the YouTube or Ustream chat, whichever we see first, is the winner.
Yeah. Okay, are you ready for the trivia question, everyone out there? Here it is. What is the name of the website that you sign up for the newsletter that we just released?
First URL.
The no spam, no BS. All it is daily tips. You sign up for it. It's not connected to your Adafruit account at all. It's a completely separate site. There's really no way that we would ever be able to do anything. You put in any email address you want. There's nothing that's identifiable. It is just because you want a daily newsletter about wearables or whatever. So just put the name of the site. I know some of the services that we're on. Okay, this week is Ustream. Before it was, no, someone said Maker Pro newsletter. No, that's the Maker newsletter. Huck Duck, congratulations, Adafruit Daily, you got it. Huck Duck, email support@adafruit.com. What do they win?
They're going to win this lovely Picade controller board, which allows you to make anything, not just Raspberry Pi, into an arcade with like buttons and joysticks and stuff.
Oh, this is cool.
This is totally cool.
Yeah. And it's UK's first official Kickstarter, so I guess this is one of the first.
Oh, yeah, because this was part of the Kickstarter. Well, the whole Picade family is part of the Kickstarter.
This is a nice silk that they did on it.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice.
Great. Yeah, the multicolored silk screens. Yeah, what a pain in the ass it is.
Yeah, Pi they did a nice job with stuff.
Yeah,
they always do a nice job with stuff. Okay, so Huck Duck, congratulations, you won, and you were in the Ustream chat. You won.
You won.
So Huck Duck, email support@adafruit.com, and we will send you out the Picade controller board. Is it a separate PID?
Yeah.
It is.
I just don't remember the PID, but it is in the store as a product.
Let me see if
which I can't see because the site was in the
No, let's see what's going on with this. Yeah, it's not really nothing's really. No. When I try to, is it this one? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's the Picade
2708.
Yeah, tell our support people it's 2708 if you want to be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but things aren't really loaded. Okay, that's it for the show tonight because we're gonna get out of here because it seems crazy to keep trying this. So we'll see everybody next week, and we'll make sure we leave some extra time next week for questions and more. Yeah, it's like that.
Oh wow, you're doing 5,000 alerts.
This is
I
what,
can't ping them tells you after it's all done.
Well,
What do you
no,
know?
I got it when it was going on too. It was things were happening.
Oh, because it's going up and down. All right.
There's all sorts of things going
Hey,
on.
site's loading-ish. All right.
Sorta, yeah, things are happening. Maybe, kind of. Okay, so we'll see everybody next week. Thank you so much for being with us and celebrating 6 years of Ask an Engineer, 4 years of Show and Tell, 2 years of wearable electronics, and 1 year so far of 3D printing. We do this every single week. We hope to keep doing it more. Thank you, everybody out there, for keeping us ad-free, sponsor-free, venture capital-free, loan-free. None of those things are bad in the right context, but usually they don't work out. We'll see you next week. In September, we have some really interesting stuff coming up, and this is September now. So,
Oh, shoot. Yeah, you're right.
so it's
I gotta get
happening.
on it.
Yeah, so we have some guests and more, and we'll talk about that on the next couple shows.
Okay.
And that's it.
Bye.
Don't forget, code.
Don't forget a cat.
Yep, picture of cat. He's hanging out right now. He's like, where are you guys? And here is your moment of Zener.